Well, I've come to thank the emergency services who've done an amazing job here in York, as elsewhere in the country. But I also wanted to come here and thank a lot of the volunteers who've been filling sandbags. Obviously, we've seen, huge levels of rainfall, very high rivers, and that's caused the flooding. So we're still in the emergency phase in some places like in York. But then we'll have to turn our minds to the recovery and how we help people get back in their homes.
So much money has been spent on the flood defences, but they haven't worked.
Well, in York, there are two sets of flood defences. The flood defences on the Ouse, which have worked, and then the flood defences on the Foss, which weren't able to work, and that's why there's been the flooding that there has been. But, we spend a lot of money on flood defences. We're going to spend even more in the future, and they have protected many thousands of houses from floods, but they don't always do enough. But obviously, after any one of these events, it's right to sit down and look at what you've spent, what you've built, look at what you're planning to spend, look at what you're planning to build, and work out, is it in the right places? Are we doing it in the right way? Do we need to do more? And we'll ask all those questions.
Effectively, a 20% cut in the flood defence monies that have been spent?
That's not true. We've spent more in the last Parliament than in the previous Parliament, and we're going to spend even more in this Parliament. So it's a rising budget, £2.3 billion on capital schemes that will make a real difference right up and down the country. And as I say, though, let's have a look and see whether more needs to be done and whether the flood defences need to be made even higher than they are already. And that's exactly what we'll look at.
Local council chief saying there's a North-South divide.
Well, that's actually, let me answer that question. Actually, we spend more per head of the population on flood defences in the north than we do in the south. But the key thing is to spend the money where it's needed. And if more money needs to be spent to help with the flood barriers, here in Yorkshire, for instance, we spent £100 million since I became Prime Minister on flood defences. We plan to spend in this Parliament an extra £280 million, so almost 3 times as much again. But again, let's look at where we're building it, where we're spending it, and see if there's more that can be done. Good to see you.
Thank you, Prime Minister.